Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to the 41st episode of the Drive-In Podcast. On today's episode of the Drive-In, we have the Express Checkup with yours truly, Dr. O. We have our spoiler review of Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights. And then we have our top billing of the best original songs in movies. So use the bathroom now, grab that popcorn, and enjoy the 41st episode of the Drive-In Podcast. All right, fellas, episode 41 of the Drive-In Pod. Nez is off sabbatical. He is here. Nez, how you doing? What have you been watching? Fill us in.
Oh man, I've been better, but I've also been very good. I just moved into an apartment, and my hiatus is due to something called a lack of Wi-Fi. But the Wi-Fi's here. Nez is back, ready to return. I'm excited. Just finished In the Heights. Have you guys seen the musical on Broadway by any chance? Or?
I have not.
Okay, I saw it. So it was very nostalgic for me to watch that again. Honestly,
I'm excited I want to hear that point. I'm excited for the review because you're gonna have like that point of view that me and Ricky Flicks don't have.
Yeah, I'm excited for that perspective.
Yeah, and then as for what else I've been watching lately, Narcos. I just started running it back. Started running it back. Yeah,
let's go.
I'm terrible at watching new things. I'm really good at rewatching everything that I've ever watched ever.
You just gotta play the hits, nothing but the hits, you know.
Yeah,
Flex,
exactly.
Watching.
Well, today I saw a video of Ben Affleck and J-Lo making out at a restaurant.
No,
I had to bring that up before the checkup because that is huge news.
Is it really
huge?
I feel
monstrous.
I feel like if it was just me and Ricky Flicks on here, he wouldn't have brought it up. But because Nez is here, he mentioned it.
I have to mention it. I have to keep people updated on this. This is insane.
Yeah, you're not even our celebrity gossip analyst. You're just the reporter on J-Lo and
Ben Affleck. I'm a Ben Affleck analyst.
You're Ben Affleck analyst?
Yes.
Ricky is like, I think he's applying to be an intern for People Magazine. So this is like his avenue to do exactly that.
Nice,
I would love to be Ben Affleck's intern. That would be sick.
A dream's a dream.
I'll go instead of Ben Affleck getting his Dunkin', I'll go get Dunkin' for
Go
Ben
get me
Affleck.
some cigarettes.
Yeah.
You're just gonna
go get me an iced coffee.
30
some
iced
beer.
coffees from Dunkin' Donuts a day.
And some munchkins.
Oh yeah. But then you gotta spill it, reenact the whole thing like
exactly.
The whole meme. Let's get to the checkup. What do you boys say?
Run it.
Let's do it. I haven't been checked up in a while.
Express style. Howdy doody. Peacock orders Ted straight to series with Seth MacFarlane in talks to return as the iconic foul-mouthed teddy bear. The press release does not mention Mark Wahlberg's potential return to the role of John Bennett. Shocker. Moving on with the checkup. A Bernie Mac biopic is happening at John Legend's production company, Get Lifted. John Legend and his producing partner, Mike Jackson, are developing a Bernie Mac biopic in collaboration with the late comedian's estate. Next up on the checkup, we have new details on the upcoming Wonka film starring Timothée Chalamet. The film will be a musical origin story set in mid-19th century England during the Industrial Revolution. Should be riveting. Filming begins this September. Next, Aquaman 2 is officially titled Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. Atlantis, maybe? Production is expected to kick off before the end of the year. Aside from Jason Momoa, Amber Heard will reprise her role as Mira. Patrick Wilson will additionally be back as Orm. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II will return as Black Manta as well. Other returning cast members include Willem Dafoe, Nicole Kidman, and Dolph Lundgren. Next up, Harry Potter and the Queen's Gambit star Henry Melling will play famed poet Edgar Allan Poe in Scott Cooper's The Pale Blue Eye. Melling will star alongside Christian Bale, who plays a veteran detective tasked with solving a series of murders that took place in 1830 at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Assisting him with the investigation is a pre-famed Poe, a young cadet who will one day become the iconic world-famous author. The Pale Blue Eye does not yet have an official release date. To wrap up the checkup today, the Lord of the Rings anime movie, The War of the Rohirrim, is happening at Warner Brothers. This film will be directed by Kenji Kamiyama. That's fun to say. The War of the Rohirrim is being fast-tracked with animation work done by Sola Entertainment. Voice casting is currently underway. No official release date has been set. That does it for the checkup this week. Ricky Flicks, which headline captures your attention most?
Oof. Honestly, I'm not sure. I guess Harry Melling is just kind of shocking with Christian Bale. Like that's just shocking to me. I don't know.
There's not a lot of juicy stories here, but there's some like I guess semi intriguing ones, like some
Yeah,
that we could
I think
definitely
that's a good
talk
way to
about
put
for a
it.
bit. Uh, I think that I like that you brought that up though, that Harry Melling, because we last time we saw him was Devil All the Time, acting like a
Hmm.
complete weirdo, like dumping spiders all over him
Psychopath.
and everything. But and we have to remember he played Dudley in
Yep.
Harry Potter. For those who don't remember Harry Melling, but this is a big deal. Him and Christian Bale, right?
Hmm.
The power duo we didn't know we needed. So
Hmm.
that'll be exciting to see. And then honestly, he looks like he's made for Edgar Allan Poe. He just looks like
He
him.
looks like him so much. Put a raven on his
Just-
shoulder, be interesting.
that might be a thing, like an Easter egg, like pre-fame Poe. He just has pet ravens. Could be a
Pet
thing.
ravens.
Nez, any thoughts on Edgar Allan Poe? You excited to see that in live action?
Not really. I saw a collection of Edgar Allan Poe stories in a play one time, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It was kind of creepy. Um, so I think this might be good. Honestly, wait, no, he's playing Edgar Allan Poe, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is Poe.
Never mind. Yeah, it's okay. No, that's fine. The
The
only Poe I
good.
want to see on screen is Dameron.
Poe Dameron or
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda.
But can we
Ooh.
talk about something else though?
Absolutely.
Can we talk about A Quiet Place Part 2 breaking $100 million at the box office, baby?
Theaters are
The
back.
movie theaters are back, baby. I love to see that. I love to see just the money coming back. I don't know if anybody owns any AMC stock, but that's putting in work.
Back.
I'm really excited to see news like that, and also they're coming out with another one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's excellent news. We're excited about that. We're excited about all the movie theater releases that are coming out this summer. Boys, we got to review some of these movie theaters.
I
We
know.
review movies every week, but I want to start reviewing some movie theaters.
We're due.
Guys, if you listen to the Drive-In Pod at the Drive-In Pod on Twitter, give us your recommendations. What's your favorite movie theater, and why should we review it?
I like
Anyways,
that.
that's the headline that intrigued me the most.
That's huge, and like hitting the triple digits there, 100 milli. I mean, no other film has done that since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. It makes you think, because we're reviewing an HBO Max / Warner Brothers production Within the Heights today, and they had like that dual plan where they're releasing on HBO Max and in theaters, and we see Quiet Place putting up big numbers, and then you see
Bucks.
In the Heights really struggled at the box office, and you got to think, you think HBO Max might pull away and Warner Brothers from this initial plan they set for the rest of 2021?
No. So I'm just gonna chime in here. Musicals tend to not do well at the opening box office, but they usually do well over a 90-day period because people hear about it and they say, "Oh, a musical is actually good on the screen," not just like seeing it on a stage, like in like a Broadway musical or something like that. And it kind of catches steam. Like a great example is Greatest Showman. Greatest Showman, like non-pandemic, did really bad its opening weekend. And hey, I do not like that movie at all, but it did really well over the course of a summer at the box office. Unfortunately, only has like a 30 or 45-day window, so I'm not sure if it's gonna even get to its budget of 55 million, but hopefully it does do better over the next couple of weeks.
Musicals, unfortunately people don't like musicals or they don't think they're cool, but I'm a huge musical fan, and I'll tell you about my thoughts on this movie when I saw it. But musicals, especially live action in movies, it's a little different, right? It's not the same, um, but it makes sense why they're not as popular, and I don't think it has anything to do with the quality of the movie, because there's been a lot of good musicals out.
Oh, for sure.
Most of them are kids movies, the the ones with songs, and they'll do well. But like a musical, like with like the dance numbers that look like Broadway,
Mhm.
it's not that popular. And people I don't know, people,
Well, I
people aren't
think
too fond of them. But I
Mhm.
think it's a guilty pleasure for us all. Let's be honest here. I love musicals.
Like Greatest Showman, like yes, not a good movie, but like some of like that soundtrack, dude, there are some bangers. There are some
Hugh Jackman.
bangers on that soundtrack. They might even make an appearance on our top billing of best original songs in movies. How are you? Could be.
But
I just wanted to say I get that musicals don't typically do well, But I mean, Warner Bros. Has got to be frustrated that this made just over 10 million in 4 days in its opening weekend at the box office. We're talking about Lin Manuel Miranda, Jolt of Summer, New York City. So it's you expect better, no?
It's just like Hamilton. Think Hamilton. Like it kind of changed the game, right? And that's Disney Plus. That's why I got big because of Disney Plus. So you could see it at home. I know this movie in particular, we'll talk about all the choreograph here. Like that would look great in the movie theater. But again, like after Hamilton's success being at home, I feel like that's what people thought of when they're seeing this movie. And the numbers haven't come out, the HBO Max numbers. But I think that going on like Tick Tick Boom, another Liz that's coming out later this year with Andrew Garfield. That's coming out later this year. West Side Story with Steven Spielberg. That's purely theaters.
Can't wait.
So that's going to be really interesting to see later on down the road how those musicals do in the theaters.
I think with Hamilton, it was such a phenomenon, and that was like a treat that we got it during the coronavirus pandemic. I think it would have done well in theaters, man. There's such a crazed fan base for Hamilton, and this is coming from a teacher like myself. Like this is what the kids like. They'll like if I play music while they're doing work, they're asking for Hamilton. And that's how huge it is. Like if that, I think it would have done. It would have performed better than $11 million in opening weekend for a box office. It would have done
I
killer.
agree. I agree. It's such a phenomenon, like you said. I totally agree. People wanted to win an Oscar.
Yeah, no, that was huge. It didn't get nominated at the Golden Globes. Am I wrong about
Yes.
that?
Yes. It's controversy around it, but yes.
All right. Uh, Also, I just wanted to bring up Lord of the Rings. I think this is a fascinating idea that we're getting like an animated movie because the way I got into Lord of the Rings as a younger kid, like I wasn't like mature enough for like to see like all the gore or like the language, whatever going on in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. I was like, it came out, I was like 6 years old, but I remember renting the animated movies made in like the
Yes.
60s and 70s on Lord of the Rings. So I think it's cool they're going back to like that type of storytelling.
Hmm.
Um, and I know they're having the Lord of the Rings show that's coming from Amazon. It's supposed to be like
So much
it's the
money.
highest budgeted show I think in the history of television,
Hmm.
and I can't wait to do that. See that, and like Lord of the Rings, J.R. Tolkien's world is so vast, and you can explore it in so many different ways. I'm excited for that, and see what especially what it will actually look like on a big screen.
Yeah, and anime, right? Like that's like such a hot trend right now, like so popular. And that coming out with Warner Brothers, you see Netflix with all the anime projects that they're working on. Warner Brothers trying to do that themselves. This is big for them and big for obviously Prime and their series coming out. People will get more interested. People that aren't as familiar or like a little hesitant on Lord of the Rings see this anime, similar to you seeing the animated Lord of the Rings to get you into the original trilogy. People see this anime, might go watch the show. So this is big for the Lord of the Rings intellectual property.
Huge. All right. That does it for the checkup this week. I'm now going to throw it over to Nez for our highly anticipated review of In the Heights.
Thank you very much, Dr. O. Yeah, this week's review is In the Heights, an adaptation of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Broadway musical. And it's based in Washington Heights, New York. The scent of warm coffee hangs in the air just outside of 181st Street. I struggled with that. Subway stop where a kaleidoscope of dreams rallies a vibrant and tight-knit community. At the intersection of it all is a likable and magnetic bodega owner who hopes, imagines, and sings about a better life. I think everybody sings about a better life in this one. It's currently trending at 96% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 95% audience score, and it is 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb. So let's go with knee-jerk reactions here. What are our thoughts on this movie, Dr. O?
So I was excited for this movie. I like Manuel Miranda. We talked about Hamilton. This is his play In the Heights, and I think that there wasn't a more perfect fit for this job. Obviously, I think this was a good like jolt going into the summer. I obviously had the big time summer vibes. It's a hot day. Talking about a blackout in terms of like weather wise and everything. But I feel like this was a very either love it or hate it type movie just based on especially it's a musical. We talked about like it's kind of a niche category for a lot of movie fans. And at the same time, something that like I know we're going to talk about it, but something that like the love or hate, the polarization of this type of movie is like the dialogue where they're singing like as they're talking for like 70% of the movie. And like that's where it's like, man, like you're either really loving it or you're just like, I could go without it. I think I was like kind of caught in the middle there. But overall, definitely great family film, great film on the American dream, and great exploration of Hispanic American culture. And I think that was a massive part of it. And I know I don't know the how accurate it is compared to the source material. I haven't really read much about it, so I can't wait to hear what Nez has to say on that on that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's pretty accurate. Everything it looks and sound well. It's a film, so it doesn't look exactly like a Broadway set, but it sounds just like the Broadway show. Um, I understand what you're saying when they're singing their lines, but that's how it is in the show, and that's how that's how Broadway shows and musicals are. They sing their conversations a lot of the time, and I really don't mind, especially in this adaptation in this musical. Um, a lot of them they're rapping a lot of the time, which is way more palatable than when they're singing to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's way cooler when they're rapping in conversation.
Sounds a little more natural.
Yeah, it sounds natural, and I don't know. I like it, but I don't mind. I grew up on musicals. I've been watching musicals, and I've taken part in musicals in my past. So that stuff, honestly, I didn't even notice it because I've just like I've just been accustomed to taking part or being at musicals. I don't know if you guys know Mayo, my brother, a guest on the podcast, huge musical guy, huge musical guy. He's probably be disappointed that we didn't invite him for this review.
Should have.
But yeah, we totally should have. But no, I honestly I didn't mind that part at all. And in terms of it being different, the whole part about him speaking to his children, like that's not part of the musical. It's just like they tell the story beginning to end. But I think the part, making it so that he's telling a story, and it's basically he's like telling a story to his children. It makes it like the dream state, the dream like, and the singing of it. It makes it all kind of realistic, almost not realistic, but it makes sense, right? It's hard to watch a movie and be like, this is how people talk to each other. No, but no, this is actually him telling a story, and this is how he's telling the story. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, my knee-jerk reaction, I mean, I loved it. I thought the set was great. I thought the costume design was amazing. I loved the way that they put different cultures on display. And I don't know. I just thought it was amazing. The music. All right, did you guys like the music in this movie?
I thought it was I thought it was solid. I didn't love it, but I did like it.
You didn't love it? Oh
no,
oh
I like
gosh,
like the
crazy.
type.
It's okay.
No, it's not that it wasn't. I actually like the actual the dance sequences a lot more than the actual music, in my opinion. I thought there were some really cool things they did. I'll let Ricky Flicks give his knee jerk reaction, but I do want to talk about a couple of the sequences because there were some absolutely sensational moments in this movie.
Thank you, Doc. You breaking the news that Mayo's a big musical film guy breaks my heart because I'm not. I'm just not. I love Mayo.
The way he's talking, I'm like,
that.
yeah, I'm not a musical guy.
Like, I love, like, hey, Grease. Not just one of my, that's one of my favorite movies. But the way they perform the songs aren't like in the dialogue. Like it might lead into the dialogue, like from the dialogue transitions to the song very well, close.
That's like, dude,
but
that's like step one of musicals, bro. You're at the
exactly.
You're at
I love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Give me step
so
one.
You like
and that's
that?
it.
You like the novice level?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am a novice. I hand up novice. But I like this movie. There was it was a long run time. For a non-musical guy, it kind of dragged a lot for me. A lot. And some of the rap sequences, I thought that was unique. I do agree with you both saying how it's a little different and how with the dialogue, integrating that with the dialogue, it was a little different, but I still didn't love it. But most of the numbers hit, which is great. But I think you really saw in this movie compared to a musical movie, I'm trying to think of an example. Like obviously not Hamilton, but not Greatest Showman. I can't think of an example because I'm not a musical guy. But
I'm trying to think. What do you like? La La Land? What are you looking for?
Like a Broadway musical that tried to do it on the big screen but failed.
Rent.
Oh, great example. But John Chu, I thought did a great job directing this movie.
I wasn't trying to rip on it.
John Chu, what I'm trying to say is this looked like a movie, not a musical. It didn't have closed in settings. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, that's an example. Sorry, good movie. That was obviously like it looked like it was on a stage. Like there was only a few scenes and it was so closed in. This movie looked like a movie. Like it actually looked like a nice set, like you mentioned. As I think that plays a part with John Chu, the director. Think Crazy Rich Asians. Think he did Step Up too, and Dance in the Streets. Like he just knows
Who
like
could
how to.
forget?
Like I'm just saying, as like a nice musical number type, a choreographed dancing sequences, but it showed that In the Heights he transitioned it from this musical stage play to the big screen very well, in my opinion. I really appreciated that as a non-musical guy there.
I think Lynn's fingerprints are on this too, though. I mean, he was in the movie.
Oh,
He plays the Piragua guy.
He was the music guy,
but
for sure.
Yeah, and he did the music, but the dance
job.
numbers are all very, very Broadway and whatnot. But I guess coordinating, yeah. And I'm not
I'm
not discounting, but I'm saying you could tell that there's a lot of Broadway influence here.
Oh,
and I thought it was great.
All right, yeah, that's not what I'm trying to say. Like, think of the pool. Look how big of a landscape
that was
great. Right?
That was a great scene.
Or think of I forget the abuela, the older woman. That scene through the subway and then coming up like that. Yeah. That just looked like a wide open space, and the different
good
settings
cinematography
in
there
that
too.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say. But obviously, the musical numbers, the songs, the songs. Like everything, you could see Miranda's fingerprints all over it. Fantastic job. I totally agree. I just, again, not a novice musical guy. It dragged a little bit, a lot, in my opinion.
And like you brought up how it's like this fit well for the big screen. One of the choreographed moments I wanted to bring up, in my personally, I think it was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I really like the nightclub scene and they're just going off. But what I really enjoyed too is the 96,000 part where they're walking to the pool and they add the animations, right? It's like it's
96,000
screen. And then that's where it was like, okay, now it's not just a musical. It's not just something you see at a play.
Right. Yeah.
They're adding in these effects. And then
then when they go Doctor Strange mode late in the movie.
I hated that.
Ricky Flick's not okay with it.
Hated that.
Not approve.
Hated that. Even though I thought Corey Hawkins showed he has this in his bag. We had Dr. Dre coming in.
I thought it didn't look good.
It looked terrible.
Yeah,
but he sang great. Like he is talented.
I thought it was fine.
I did not at all.
Like Gumby, like going off, like his body's like different. Like it's like I don't know. It's just rotating weird. I'm like this looks like very fake.
The first thing, like when it changed and they were like going like they were walking on the side of the building and like defying gravity. That's another musical, Wicked. Anyways, that's a song in Wicked. The first thing I thought of was Doctor Strange. I was just like,
oh, me too.
Wow.
I was just like, Doctor Strange mode. I like it.
I was thinking
no, I like the effects there. I mean, it's stuff that you can't do in the musical, but one thing that I think they get away with in the musical that they don't get away with in the movie is as well as death. It was kind of weird. She just kind of laid down and died. And like the thing is, like in the scope of a movie, it's just like, what? How did she just die? In a Broadway play, this is gonna sound messed up, but in the Broadway play, it's like, oh my God, Abuela died. The light's shining on her. She's dead. And then boom, the light goes off, and then they drag her bed off the stage, and then everything keeps going, But
right.
like in a movie, I was just like, I just didn't. It was just like. It was just weird. I don't know. It was hard to. Maybe I was just sad because she died, even though I knew she was going to. But it didn't. It felt weird in the scope of the movie. I thought there could have been I don't know, maybe an alternative way of her passing away. I don't know.
I think that scene, I did like the song she performed. It did provide an emotional punch, and then it also takes you through the journey of like her being an immigrant. And then a big part of this movie was the exploration of a Hispanic American, right? Living, right? Especially in an urban environment, struggles they have to go through, process of making it through. And they went through, and I like how like it wasn't generic in terms of, yes, it had Granny's story, but it also talks about undocumented immigrants. It talks about if you are the person who's going, the person in the neighborhood who's going to an Ivy League school or made it or something, you're first generation. So it goes into all these different aspects where if you look at like most other movies, like a city environment, they'll focus on like one person from different types of culture. This really was committed to that Latin American type of culture. And I think that
Yeah.
was cool. It really shined a light on it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely thought it brought a light to like the real struggles of like that of like just millions of people that they deal with every day that you might not see like the burdens put on them. And like obviously the themes here, hard work, sacrificing for others, they're very grounded, very real. And for a musical, like that's honestly you see that a lot in musicals, which I love to see here on a big screen where you would mention it, Hollywood kind of doesn't really keep it grounded, like their themes grounded as much as this movie. And honestly, like another big theme that I liked in this is that Nez brought up before with the dreams versus like what really is your dream. And that's how like they did that in this movie by him telling the stories to the kid, like when it's on the beach, but you're not really on the beach. So I really like that aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
Sueñitos. Yeah, and I also, I mean, it touches upon a lot of things within the Latin community that are really important, but also, when we think about being that person from the Heights or even wherever you are that goes to an Ivy League school or, and struggling to pay for it or anything like that, like that's just people like people with in poverty or lower and middle class, they struggle with that. So that's, I think that's even relatable outside of that community, but there are also obviously some very niche Latin American things in there. But I think it's relatable to, a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. So I thought that was really cool. And Dr. O, if you really like the club scene, we can go to a club in Washington Heights whenever you want. Just say the word.
Well, we should vlog it.
We can go to a Latin
To
club.
keep up with those dance moves, that'll be tough.
I'll teach you some pointers on the train ride over.
I'll have to get the cardio. I'll have to get the cardio going. Quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
All right, yeah. I mean, should we throw out scores, or is there anything else we want to touch upon?
I did want to talk about the cast. Because it's following. Because I initially, when you see when I saw the trailer for this and I see the previews and like the promotion, I thought this was immediately going to be like a West Side Story type. I didn't know about In the Heights. So it really was a focus on Anthony Ramos, who's the lead. He plays Usnavi. And then his love interest. I thought that's what the story was going to be about. But I did like how it went into basically 4 different avenues, 4 different main characters. And I just was wondering, who did you guys enjoy watching the most? Personally, I thought Usnavi was pretty electric, man. I think he's an awesome dancer. He packed an emotional punch. His relationship with Abuela. And I did like seeing Corey Hawkins in this singing, just because I think of him and I think of him as Dr. Dre, just like spinning records in Straight Outta Compton. But he was also, he's a very talented person. I thought the whole cast overall is talented. And we also can't forget the amazing cameos we got in this movie. Not only did we get Lin-Manuel Miranda, but we got Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony,
dude.
Jimmy Smits too. Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, General Organa. General Organa was in this, man.
Yeah, I know.
And then when he brought in like that,
General Organa is Puerto Rican. Who would have thought?
Yeah. when he came in singing, I'm like, yes, like this is something I did not see coming.
Only one line though. That was disappointing. Maybe for the better though. I don't know how good of a voice he has.
It was still it was almost like Pierce Brosnan singing in Mamma Mia.
Oh no!
Like,
don't disrespect him that hard.
No. Like not that. It wasn't like it was that bad. It was just like out of nowhere him pulling it off. But who did you guys enjoy most out of the cast?
It has to be Ramos. He dominated in this. I really did like seeing Corey Hawkins, and I thought Vanessa and Nina were very talented. But Ramos just star in the making. I think this guy. I think he has like a different. Like this is his coming out party, right? Like he was in Hamilton, right? He did like 2 roles in that too, right? He did Philip Hamilton and then the other guy.
Okay.
Right? I'm trying to remember John, I think. But this guy, like he's gonna be in the next Transformers project. I think he's like gonna be the lead guy in that. But I think the big thing that took away from this is that it's not like he was obviously the star in this, but it wasn't like he was like all out there, right? Like he was very subtle. His charisma was very different than like a star in like a musical, right? Like it's very impressive to see. Like it's very unique. I don't know. I was very taken aback by like how much I liked him, but like not in the way I thought I was going to like him after this movie.
Yeah, it's like he's kind of like a sweetheart, kind of like he's not like a protagonist in the way where it's like he's big and bold. I mean, he is though. He
little
actually is
shy.
bold and
He's shy.
brash.
Yeah,
but
he's
he's shy, and that's
Yeah,
kind of
subtle shy.
relatable. And he's really nice to his grandma. That's not really his grandma. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like he's not like a. I don't know. He's not like a super fierce protagonist that like really takes over, but he also does in a way. He's
Exactly.
like a little soft spoken. And he seems like a sweetheart, and I think people really appreciate that.
And that
A
shows in
likable
his
actor.
relationship with Vanessa too,
Hmm.
which I liked in this movie. Like
It's
that relationship.
I agree 100% with Ricky Flex when you're saying he's a star in the making. He just seems super likable, and I
Yeah.
get like and like him being I could like he looks like he definitely has like a franchise leading potential to him. Like wouldn't be surprised if he gets a call to play a superhero like anytime soon. I could see him doing something for Marvel. Just because
Inevitable.
he's clearly talented. He's young. He's a bright face, and he has a bright future. So I couldn't
Mhm.
agree more.
I liked his little cousin. I thought he was awesome. He was very charismatic as well.
Mhm.
You're a softy when your little cousin has to. You're a grown man. Your little cousin has to ask a girl out for you. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oof.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that was his name. Yeah,
No,
he
it wasn't. It was Sunny, I think.
Son. Yeah, it was Sonny.
Sonny.
Excuse me. Yeah, I see it right here. I don't know where Kevin came
Yeah,
from.
Kevin.
Well, Kevin.
Was it from Up? I'm trying to
Malone?
think. Kevin
I don't
Malone.
know. No, but no, Sonny. I thought Sonny was good. I liked his. He was like the overconfident, like I wouldn't say brash, but just like is unafraid.
Yeah,
And
he
it kind of
was
goes
funny.
with his character too, and like its background, right? Undocumented immigrant, and just like I don't know, he's a scrapper. He's a scrapper.
Yeah, I like
Scrapper,
that
yes.
story too. The undocumented part, and you don't really find out till later in the movie too. So,
Mhm.
I thought that was really interesting, and really got you to feel for him too, because like this whole it adds like a little bit of layers to it. The whole movie, he's like very confident, he's spunky, and he's boom bang, whatever.
Mhm.
And then like you find that out, and then you see him like sad and emotional, and you can kind of like feel for him. It added a little bit more to his character, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, he was like the fire. He was like the fire, and Anthony Ramos was like the ice.
Yeah,
Fire and
like
ice.
Sub-Zero and Scorpion,
Exactly. Boom.
just like that.
Obvious comparison.
Let's throw out some scores. Flicks, don't disappoint me here.
I'm going to. I don't. I wish I didn't have to go first, but I gave this a 72. Like I think it's good. And it's like worth a watch. But like I'm just not. I'm not gonna rewatch this. Like
It's not a terrible score.
it's not
bad.
terrible. But I saw Nez. I know he's not happy with
To
it.
C minus.
I don't look at it that way. I don't look at out of 100s in grades like that.
Oh sure.
I
Would your
don't.
parents take a seat at 72? Would your parents take a 72?
I'm you know what I'm saying here. I
I'm just-
thought
I'm just-
hey, this movie was fun. It was lively.
Listen, it's your
vibrant.
score. It's your score.
It dragged a lot for me. It was lively, vibrant, dragged a lot. The performances were good. Some relationships I didn't like, some I did like. I think 72 is fair for me as a novice musical guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Ricky Flex, I'm not my score is not that off compared to yours, but I guess I disagree a little bit with the terms of like dragging of the movie, because I think I gave it a 76 out of 100, but I like when it was a little long. I wasn't a big fan. Like I'm a novice too when it comes to musicals. I prefer I don't like 70% of a 2.5 hour movie they're singing. Like that's too much for me. That's too much. And it feels like I'm like watching slam poetry for like 65% of the movie, which is not necessarily a bad
Yes.
thing. Shout out Jonah Hill and 22 Jump Street.
Making loud noises.
Cynthia. But I also wanted to say the cast was awesome. I thought what they did at the end with Usnavi in terms of like that little twist at the end was actually awesome, because I was thinking the entire time like they're giving away the end of the movie before it even happens. But then
Mhm.
the little twist there, I thought was like that was clever.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about the lottery ticket? Did you know that like who had it?
So that was another twist too. I kind of expected it, but
Yeah.
but when when Usnafi was telling the kids, they're saying, yeah, it's irrelevant who had it, like whatever. It made it almost like it made the audience, like the viewer, it cleared
like,
that
forgot
idea
about it.
out of their head. Yeah, and
Right.
then like an hour and a half later, bang, guess what? Good things are happening now. So I did like that aspect. I think the writing very good there. But I also, in terms of the characters, I know like there was a focus on all four of those young adults there with Usnavi, Vanessa, Nina, and Benny. I thought, although they gave some closure to Usnavi and Vanessa's characters, I don't think Benny and Nina got that same treatment, even though they had very similar screen time.
Mm.
If they made it more, because they did say like, okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but they kind of said what's happening with their life, but when it flashes like forward in the future, you're really unsure. And I
Mhm.
think they were really trying to split the screen time, so I was kind of surprised by it. But 76 out of 100.
All right. I give this a 92. I give this a
92.
92. I love this musical. I always have. I had the we had the CD in our family car back in the day, so I know the songs.
Bet.
I have a handful of my favorite songs. Usually, most of them are in the beginning to the middle of the movie, but yeah, 92. I thought the directing was great. The plot was great. I knew the plot, but I thought the plot was great. The script, everything I thought was done perfectly well. I think this is about as good as you can do an on-screen musical, especially if you're adapting it from a Broadway musical. Like this is a beautiful adaptation of something that you would normally see on Broadway. So yeah, 92 out of 100. So I'm gonna be the odd man out when the graphic drops, but
I thought you were gonna.
I'm the
No,
musical guy.
no, but I think that just nails what we said, like what we said beforehand, where it's like this will either hit or miss with people. Like I think me and Ricky Flex, we still recognize like in terms of the choreography, the
An
singing, the
appreciation.
story, right? And yes, the background, the setting, everything. We very much appreciate it. It's just like you brought up the soundtrack. I want to know how long that damn soundtrack is. Like, like how long is that soundtrack? Or like, or where do you even like if I'm building that soundtrack, where do I cut it off? I don't even know because like they're talking and singing. I just be like, okay, I don't know.
I think they keep the talking parts actually.
Yeah, so it must be the longest soundtrack in history.
It might be one or two CDs. Yeah, it might have been two CDs.
Oh, 2 disc. Yeah.
Nice.
I thought you were gonna go at 96 for 96,000.
Oh, that would have been good.
Oh,
Darn.
I was gonna.
92 after
Yeah.
taxes.
After taxes.
No, you guys went with after taxes.
true.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's our review of In the Heights. I'm going to shoot it over to Ricky Flicks for top billing.
All right. Top billing time. Top billing time. And it is inspired today by our review of In the Heights. We had the top billing of best original songs and movies. Nez, you got the first pick. You wanted the first pick. What are your thoughts heading into this draft?
I'm excited. I haven't not only have I not participated in a top billing in a while, but I have not won a top billing and it might be over a month now. So I'm I'm ready. I said give me that first pick. I'm ready to go. I need a W on the board.
Mhm.
A little nervous, not gonna lie.
Doc, thoughts?
I'm ready to roll. This is a big draft for Nez. I think there's a lot of pressure on Nez. I'm going to put it on him if he is not already feeling it. He is our resident music guy, and I think I'm expecting a lot out of him today. That's all I have to say.
Well, before actually drafting, we should just say real quick, Dr. Rowe won last week with a 60% vote of the top billing of office characters. Just wanted to say that. Dr. Rowe, thoughts on last week as well?
It was all about getting the first pick. We should have done only supporting characters. Now that I'm thinking about it, if like once you put, it's almost like putting Thanos on the best Marvel villains bracket. I mean, on the graphic. So once you had Michael Scott, it's almost over. And then I had the combination of Creed and Kevin in the next round. I wasn't losing at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a tough one to beat. Michael Scott was just tough. I thought Dwight and Jim might like help, but just
Creed
was
first
tough.
overall, by the way.
Well-
Creed, I mean, we talked about it last week, but Creed is so like such. He's like only a character you would see in like a sitcom, or but more specifically, The Office, where it's that one line that hits every time.
Right.
Never-
Yes, very much so.
Exactly. Oh, you guys are lucky I wasn't on that because I would have just been quoting the entire time.
Yeah,
Entire
Nez is a big Office guy. I was disappointed you couldn't do the last one. That would have been
No.
exhilarating. Especially there would have been some niche picks for sure, knowing your draft strategies.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Did nobody pick Mose?
No.
No. That's it. But that'd
Come
be
on.
like the Nez pick I would expect,
Come
like
on,
Mr.
guys.
Irrelevant or something.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this top billing. Nez, you have the first pick. Ricky Fix has the second. Dr. O has the third, and then we're gonna snake it back around. Nez, start us off with the top billing of best original songs.
I'm going to start our top billing draft of the best original songs in movies with none other than The Eye of the Tiger, baby.
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam,
We gotta add
bam.
the songs in after each pick. That's
I know.
that's a
Bum,
must.
bum.
Holy crap! I want to hear "High the
So-
Tiger" so bad right now. Is this the greatest motivational song of all? Don't no teas and picks, but my god, like unbelievable.
There's another one that might beat
Unbelievable
it,
song.
but this is an all-time motivational song. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I used to do this after school. The ROTC people at my the ROTC kids at my high school would like run like a couple miles. So then sometimes we would drive next to them and blast "Eye of the Tiger" while they ran.
That's
and did their
awesome.
thing. Yeah, no, this is all time. This is an all time movie original song. It's inspiring. It gets you pumped, ready to go. And it's been ripped off and used in so many movies as a spoofs ever since. But that's how you know you did something good. Imitation is the best form of flattery.
And didn't we just get you guys know Haspula on social media?
Yes.
Dude, didn't he just post a video of him working out to Eye of the Tiger?
Was that it really?
I think he did. I think it was yesterday. And a big
Wow.
Haspula fan. I think he's fighting very soon.
Shout
And for
out.
those who don't know that are listeners, he is a 18-year-old, I believe, from Russia. Is he from Russia?
He's 18 years old.
He's 18. Yeah, so he has a growth disorder. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so he's 18, but he's the most electrifying figure on the internet. Like
He is taking the internet by storm.
Yeah, if the things we would do to get him on this podcast would be we need him. We
can't afford him, dude.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe he's a nice guy.
In another lifetime. All right, well, that's a good pick. Way to start this draft off. Pretty solid pick. Now it's up to me. I'm gonna go recency bias and pick "Shallow." Star is Born.
Wow, second overall.
Second overall.
I was about to say second overall.
Second overall. I'm doing it. I really wanted this one. I really wanted the third pick, but Dr. O beat me to that because I feel like my next pick would have been really great after this, but I don't know if it'll slip back to me. But "Shallow" is just one of those that it just hits every time. It hits every time in a different way that you don't really expect. It like hits you on an emotional level, but then it also like hits you like you want to get going too at the same time. And when you see it on the big screen, when you watch "A Star Is Born" in theaters, that was awesome. That was a great like first time experience in that song. That's gonna be my first pick here. "Star Is Born," "Shallow."
It's a better song in the movie than it is in real life. That's my take on it. Like if I hear it on the radio, I don't like it as much. If I see the movie scene where Lady Gaga is going off, yes, very cool. And I think that kind of separates it, makes it a top tier pick in this type of draft. But I don't love the song until like she goes like the part where it's like hits the middle and she's like and just goes off. You know, she carries that. That's when it gets good. But I didn't have it as a first round pick, but it was on my board.
Interesting. My only memory of this song, I haven't seen "A Star Is Born" all the way through, but I know how it ends, so that's kind of why I wasn't motivated to finish it.
Mhm.
But one time I flew to Portugal and I was on like about 3 hours of sleep, and we got there and we were on the shuttle from the airport, and I was really tired, a little delirious, and possibly a little intoxicated. And this song was playing on the shuttle from the airport. It was like a big bus full of me and a couple of my friends and a lot of European people. And I don't know why, I just started belting it out. And people looked at me like I was an insane person, which I might be. But yeah, that's my little story. I think I have a little story for each song.
Wow.
Can't
wait to hear
This
him.
top billing will take forever. I have to tone it down. I have to tone it down.
This is like the type of song where it's like you start singing it out loud. Either people look at you weird or they just join it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's definitely always that potential when you start singing that song. All time, it's got to be one of the biggest like movie karaoke songs too.
Mm. Well, Doc, you're up.
Hmm.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I mean, I gotta go Phil Collins. You'll be in my heart, Tarzan. I think that's a certified first
baby.
rounder. Such a
Oh,
great song.
baby.
Dude, that song gets you emotional. That
Oh,
song
I
gets you
needed that.
emotional.
I
It's
needed that.
I think it's so, I would have taken this first overall. That's how much I love this
I
song.
can't draft anything else from Tarzan now, right?
You
You
can.
can.
I
Yeah,
don't.
because there are different options. Like they're like
There's a few.
I was thinking another Tarzan song as well, but this one I think stands above the rest. The emotional weight that they play at the end of the movie. Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
my
it hits
gosh.
you. I know, like whenever like Nez and our friends go out, like at the like post game afterwards, go back from the bar. Like the classic is like everyone's chilling out. Put on some Phil Collins. You'll be
Phil
in my
Throw
heart.
on
Collins.
that Tarzan soundtrack. Baby.
I have
And
a
getting your feelings.
hot take that I debate with my friends with all the time, and I don't think I'll ever change my mind. I still think the Tarzan soundtrack's better than Lion King soundtrack. My
It's
personal
close.
opinion.
It's close.
I still
but,
think it's better.
You're going against Sir Elton.
I'll pick Phil Collins as Tarzan over that.
I don't know about that.
I will. I just think it's all around better. You have this ballad to go along with the rest of the freaking bangers in Tarzan. Unbelievable.
I think top to bottom. I think top to bottom. Well, here's the thing. Here's the issue. All right, here's the issue. I don't know. Maybe
Overall soundtrack.
as someone who's seen the Broadway musical of Lion King, okay?
I have not.
Exactly.
I guess
of
that,
course.
listeners.
No, seriously, if you haven't seen it, you should check that out. You'll actually like that. You'll actually be able to
Yeah.
appreciate that. It's very good. I don't know. I think top to bottom, Lion King, doesn't really miss. And I think the Tarzan soundtrack, there's a couple in there that I skip.
I disagree.
I skip them.
Disagree.
I think I'm on Nez's side here. I think I'm on
See,
Nez's.
I know.
think,
I'm the minority, but I love Tarzan. I'm telling you, Tarzan. Phil Collins doesn't miss.
Can you feel the love tonight? I mean, come
teasing,
on.
teasing picks.
I'm teasing picks, but yes, I
Oh,
understand.
See, yeah, I didn't tease. You did that. Oh,
You did. No, don't you dare point at me.
You're the one that brought up another. You compared it to another movie.
Not any
Another movie.
songs.
You compared it to another soundtrack. What are you talking about?
I
This is
didn't
on your
mention any
phone.
songs.
Yeah,
I didn't mention
yeah,
any
w-
songs.
You don't expect me to
He didn't
defend
go
the
to
Lion King's
specifics.
honor?
I didn't mention any songs. Do you?
We
I
should
didn't
have
mention any other Tarzan songs.
You mentioned another soundtrack.
Yeah, but I didn't mention any songs.
So you mentioned a collection of songs. As
I think
a whole.
I think if I had to, as I was watching that unfold, I think Ricky Flick set Nez up to say
sure.
I
was
didn't
on.
mention any songs in either
I think
movie.
that was a group reveal right there.
All right, Doc, let's get back on the rails here. Doc, your second pick.
All right, I'm gonna go more with like a personal one than I think everyone would universally say. I'm gonna go with Sunflower from Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, baby,
I'm
that's
on board.
on my big board.
I think that man, like there's obviously a couple songs you can go from Into the Spider-Verse, but Sunflower, talk about it might be like the sun that's obviously pounded me yesterday, but like the good vibes in the summer now with Sway Lee's voice matching up with Post Malone. It's a very I could put the song on repeat and you're chilling. So it's yeah.
The song
It's
came out as
ultimate
like a
good
single
vibes.
like a month before the movie and just hyped me up even more for the movie because of how good the song was. And then it hits you right in the first scene of the movie. So it was just such a great use of the song too. Just love it. Great pick.
Thanks.
All right. Off to me. I'm just gonna do it. Lose Yourself, 8 Mile.
Yep.
Lose Yourself, 8 Mile.
Yeah.
This is one of top 5 favorite songs for me personally. Reason why I didn't pick it in the first round, not necessarily in the movie like in its entirety. Like the actual lyrics aren't in the movie. That's why I didn't think it was like it's tough to say that as a first rounder.
No, it's an original song for a movie, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's still
it counts.
it counts, but that's why I didn't have it as a first rounder, even though as a song, it would probably be my 1-1. I love
Oscar
that
winner
song.
Eminem.
Right. So
If you had.
Lose Yourself, 8 Mile for me.
I agree with like the aspect that you mentioned before. Like, it's tough sometimes because like as someone like I didn't watch 8 Mile when I was 7 years old. Like when I was figuring out who Eminem was, I didn't watch it till I was like 11, 12 probably. But to already know about that song, and then when you watch it after years after it's been released, and you're like, when are they gonna sing the damn song? After you watch it the
Right.
first time, you're like, oh wait, he doesn't really sing it. He just hits the lyrics every once in a while on the bus on the way to the final battle. But good pick. Like definitely worthy of a first rounder. You're getting 5 overall, so that's nice.
All right, Nez. Off to
Back
you.
to back, right?
You got it.
All right, I was actually gonna pick "Lose Yourself," so I'm a little upset here, a little up in the air, and you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm going with Danger Zone, Top Gun.
Nice.
Love it.
When I saw that movie, I was like 9 years old, and when that scene came on, oh my God, my mind was blown. My mind was blown. I was just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I want to be a pilot right now. I want to be Tom Cruise. So cool.
If it
No Scientology though. So cool.
No
it-
yelling at other the production members about COVID.
No, I yell at
wearing.
them. I yell at
Oh,
them.
you're
still.
yelling at them.
Just
All
no
right.
Scientology.
but that song fit the 80s vibe so well for
Oh
that
my
time.
God.
It was
Are
just
you kidding me?
perfect, you know. And a movie I think of that's not Top Gun when I hear that is Harold and Kumar 2. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where he's in the
Guys,
You're
plane
nuts.
with Rob Corddry.
You are
Yeah.
nuts.
He's like, and then he like turns to the guys like, "We're going to the danger zone."
Rob Corddry is awesome, by the way. I love him. He's
Could have been in
great.
the best supporting actors draft.
Yes, I love Rob. Great guy. Nez, third pick.
Third pick here. We're going with Let It Go, Frozen. That, my friend, is an all-time movie karaoke song. Okay, and I would put it actually above Shallow in the movie karaoke playlist. Great movie, Oscar winner, right? Correct.
Oh, It had to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I mean, soundtrack's amazing. I mean, that was Disney coming back and with, bringing a hit musical animated film, one that they have not had in a while. I remember in the 90s they were hitting them out of the park, and I feel like at the time they had kind of simmered down. They dropped Frozen on us. It was like Disney's back, baby. But yeah, Let It Go, Frozen, an all-time movie karaoke song, all-time movie song, all-time. People just love that song. Oh my God, you play that around a bunch of kids.
Like 6 to 10-year-olds, it may be the number one song even now.
No, Baby Shark is actually the number one song between 0 to 10-year-olds.
I
It was
believe
actually
that.
the most played song on YouTube ever, I think.
Yeah.
Baby
it's,
Shark?
It's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
No,
like
I'm not
insane.
kidding. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But the amount of times my nieces have been at my house, and we've probably been recording, and all I hear is stop, 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 stop. Let it go, let it go. Bum, 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 boom. Yeah, I
Yeah.
lived downstairs before, so I heard it all.
But I like that pick just because that is the song of the soundtrack, obviously, that stands out the most. But overall, that soundtrack has bangers on it.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
is an
Yeah,
open door.
why don't we compare it to
Yeah.
another soundtrack? Flicks.
Don't you dare even bring up a conversation.
I just teased the
don't
pick.
bring that conversation up.
But I got away with it. So yeah, no, good pick. It's just I feel like it's reached that demo. It's either karaoke bar or 6 to 10-year-olds. That's like where you hear Let It Go.
True.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't have the pipes for Shallow, you're ripping Let It Go instead. So
I mean, no one can match the magic of an Adina Menzel, but I don't know. She's spectacular. Shout out Uncut Gems.
yeah, shout out. All right,
Adele Nazin.
I'm
Oh,
up.
did I say the wrong name?
No, you said Adina
No,
Menzel.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay,
I was
yeah,
just
I
you.
gotcha.
You've seen the clip of John Travolta announcing her. At
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the wickedly talented one and only Adele Nazin.
I forgot about that.
All right, Flix is up. You made my life easier because I was toying between two. Let It Go is one, and Everything is Awesome is the
Oh my
other one.
God.
What are you doing? No way. You're taking
Everything is
everything off right now.
awesome. Is
Everything
awesome.
awesome.
It speaks for itself.
Love that movie. Love that song. Number 3 for me.
Yeah, I mean that goes almost
So
the same
original.
logic, except it goes to the same logic as like the younger demographic for sure. And then that's as a camp director for years, that was the most played along with Let It Go.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
love Everything Is Awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to diversify my board. I have a ballad, shallow, I have Lose Yourself, motivational. Everything's awesome. Kids, animated movie. I'm liking my board. I don't love it, but I like the diversity in my board, which I'm aiming for. It's awesome. Doc, you're up.
Before I go on to my pick, I just want to say I was doing some reading up on the Lego franchise because I was looking and they were saying that it's very low likelihood that there's going to be a sequel to the Lego Batman movie, and that's because Lego was bought by Universal. The rights went to Universal, so it doesn't belong to Warner Brothers anymore, and so there's not going to be a sequel to Lego Batman movie, unfortunately. And I think
Yeah,
that's
I
really,
Why
saw
would they
it.
buy it and not make another movie? I don't understand.
I don't know.
The Lego. They bought Lego, like, right?
Yeah,
Am I crazy?
they
Yeah.
bought. I think it was Universal. I could be wrong. Some
But
other studio bought
yeah,
it.
someone bought it, but they were gonna do like a Super Friends movie,
Yeah,
like Justice League. Like that would have been sick.
yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Jonah Hill probably would have come back as Green Lantern, right? Like
Channing Tatum is
Channing Tatum.
yeah, Superman.
That would have been fun. All right, Doc, you're up.
All right. I'm going to go with Staying Alive, Saturday Night Fever. This is something that got drafted with our best movie scenes, right? With Tony Manero walking through the city, just slinging it, being the man. So I have to go with that as my pick. That soundtrack's probably the GOAT. Probably the GOAT, Saturday Night Fever. Like when you go, I'm not gonna, yeah. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say that soundtrack's the GOAT.
it's
We
amazing.
Nez
Masterclass.
shimmying all over the Zoom right now, and that's what you want to do, right? Ricky Flex having at it right now, but yeah, Tony Manero, Saturday Night Fever, thirder.
I mean, just an absolute inspiration. I think anytime anytime Ricky Flicks, Dr. O, and I hit the dance floor, I mean,
I'm hitting the
we're
cufflinks.
we're trying to be yes, exactly.
I'm hitting them every time they put together.
I dressed up as him for Halloween one year. I mean, just an electric soundtrack from an amazing group, and I'm pretty sure the soundtrack to this movie went gold. Or maybe platinum. I can't remember.
Had to.
I
mean, it was a hit. It was ridiculous.
It did everything.
It was more than it was
yeah.
a masterclass, pure inspiration.
Exactly.
All right, Doc, you're fourth.
Pure inspiration. I'm gonna go back to Disney, similar to my first round pick. I'm gonna go A Whole New World from Aladdin. That scene, that animated scene, is one of the best in the history of Disney with the magic carpet ride. And Prince Ali just being an absolute stud and showing Jasmine a whole new world. So I definitely a banger. Something I haven't heard in a while, but
do you trust me?
Something I will play. Oh, Ricky, great part of it. Great part. But yeah, so I have to go Whole New World. Top 5 Disney song ever.
Interesting, you picked that one. I love the song. Love the part. Most iconic scene in that movie. Just interesting.
Are we talking live action or
No.
animated here?
Animated. Have to.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All right.
What were you gonna say, Nez?
Nothing. I almost teased a pick.
Oh,
I was going to sarcastically compare that soundtrack to another movie soundtrack, and I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't even had anything from that soundtrack." Hold on, I'll be back.
Nothing hit harder than '90s Disney animated soundtracks.
Nothing.
Literally, that was a complete domination of the industry by Disney. Like
even just Disney / Pixar animated movies, just best.
Just
era.
a complete, the best dynasties since. I don't know. Since the Warriors, like just an incredible dynasty of like absolute.
Since the Islanders, 4 straight.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice pick. Back to me, Flicks. I Don't know. Uh, let's do. All right, let's just do Adele. Skyfall. James Bond had to be picked. Like any of the James Bond songs had to be picked in this.
Not any.
Like so, we had to have one.
Yes.
And this is my favorite by far. Bond's just known to have unbelievable original songs, and this is by far for me the best. That's what I'm gonna go with. Skyfall.
Yeah. It's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Nez. I know you're about to speak. I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, I have a story for this one.
Yes.
My senior prom was themed after Skyfall.
Wow.
It was themed after this movie. So when we were all waiting outside and then they let us all in, like this song was playing as like while everybody was walking into the ballroom. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's awesome.
I felt like James Bond.
Like the beginning with the horns, then you walk in, like the
Yeah.
then you walk. That's pretty cool. And this is the GOAT James Bond song in my opinion. So I think if you're gonna pick any of them, this was going to be the one.
I think the theme is the GOAT James Bond song, but I wouldn't draft it. I'm just
yeah.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's draftable though.
But if you are, the thing is, like, it's such a that's such a compliment, like, to Adele and to Skyfall, because whenever someone is like said to, like, you're singing the next James Bond song or it's announced, you're like, oh my, okay, you're like, that's probably gonna win best original song at the Oscars. Like, it's a huge deal. I know Billie Eilish did for the one from No Time to Die. I think the song is not very good, at least compared to Skyfall. But
it's hard. It's hard.
It has that like. It has that aura to it where, oh my God, it's a James Bond song. And that's like the best one you could have picked, I think. So nice.
I wish I was at Nez's senior prom now. Very jealous.
It was fun.
All right, Nez, your next pick.
All right, this one just popped up in my head when I was trying to make a joke, but now I'm going to use it. This next pick is and I saw her face. I'm a believer. Smash Mouth. I'm a believer. From Shrek. I almost compared Aladdin to Shrek, and then I was like, "Oh my God, wait, Shrek! What am I doing?" And then I found that song. Yeah. So I'm a believer. I listened to this in elementary school. I listened to this in middle school. I listened to this in high school. I listened to this song in college, and I listen to this song today. It is an absolute certified banger.
So I agree. Okay. But I have a hand up here.
Okay.
Potential veto?
The Monkees came out in 1966, and that was a remake.
Okay, so wait.
It's not an original song.
But it's not Smash Mouth recorded it for the movie. So it's not, they didn't play the Monkees song in the movie.
I'm gonna say it's not an original song.
It's like
brought that up.
I'm sorry.
It was remade for the movie.
It was made for this movie. It was made for Shrek,
but it's still not original.
Okay.
You know,
it was a good pick. I wasn't gonna second guess until Ricky Flicks just said that.
I was vibing with you, but like, I'm throwing a veto.
Fine.
Okay. Nothing says 2000s. Like
you need two vetoes, though. You need two vetoes. I'm one.
I'm already vetoed by the other person. It's fine.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Nez is returned, and there's a veto thrown.
I'm so sorry.
It's not the Monkees song,
but it's its
own song.
But it's the same lyrics. It's a remake.
Oh, did you compare? Oh, did you compare the lyrics?
It's a cover.
Did you do a lyric analysis?
I own them. I own the soundtrack.
My desk by Monday. You own the soundtrack of what? Of Shrek?
Yeah.
Do you have the Monkey song?
I actually do have a Monkey CD. Dr. O can attest to that.
And it has that song on it?
Yes.
No, yeah. No, our parents like the
Neil Diamond wrote the song for them, I believe, actually.
Unbelievable. All right, well, I'm gonna go with All the Stars, Black Panther, and I don't even want to talk anymore because I'm upset.
That was high on my board.
That was remade too. I mean, that's a great pick.
That's a great pick.
That was on my list.
Yeah, great movie, great soundtrack, whatever.
That soundtrack is unbelievable too, and that's the theme for a lot of these. Like the best original songs come from amazing soundtracks.
Yes,
and I mean, Black Panther, Ops. What is that? Is it Ops? That song?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a great song. Oh, sorry, no teasing picks. Sorry, I was just about to list the soundtrack. Do not do that. Yeah, banger. Kendrick and SZA.
And I'm sorry, Nes, but you have to talk again because you have your final pick.
All right. Well, with my last pick, I'm going to make a statement to Ricky Flex, which is that I never meant to cause you any trouble. I never meant to cause you any pain. Purple Rain. That's the one. Purple Rain from Purple Rain. Original song for the
Iconic.
movie. Look it up.
Yes.
Look it up. Somebody look it up. Somebody check if this is vetoable.
Nope,
But I don't think it is.
Like
The title of the movie.
Purple Rain.
Title of the movie.
Prince. I know. That's my pick. There's so many good karaoke songs that come from movies.
Oh yeah.
Purple Rain. What did I pick before? Let It Go. And then what did you pick before that said, oh, Shallow? Yeah, there's a lot of good karaoke songs that come from movies.
You'll Be in My Heart. It's definitely one too. Now I'm looking at
for
it.
sure, for sure.
everyone in their feels.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my final pick.
Definitely like at 2 a.m. at the bar, closing up, play that type. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Oh yeah, big time.
All right. Flix's last pick myself.
I like how you always refer to yourself as a third person. and
Yeah,
then
I
you
don't know
stick your
why.
pick. No,
It's just
okay.
like I started that in the beginning, like when we were just starting, so like
Right,
everyone
talk
can get
about
acquainted with our
character
voices.
syndrome.
Like make sure like everyone was like knew each of our voices. But now like we're on episode 41, I still do it. Not a good habit. I'm gonna go.
Flix will take.
Ghostbusters. Let's do it. Give me a theme song. Ghostbusters.
On my big board.
Ghostbusters. Awesome
as well.
song. There's a remake, not a remake, another Ghostbusters movie coming out. Paul Rudd's going to be in that one as well. Same as Stranger Things kid. Ghostbusters.
Like how we have a theme in there. Very nice. Ray Parker.
Yes. Ray Parker. Thank you.
You see it on every Halloween party playlist.
This is such a deep top billing here. This is insane. Like I feel so bad not picking other ones on my board.
We could each have 10 picks,
Yeah.
I think.
All right, Dr. O, Mr. Irrelevant.
Everybody get up. It's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. That is my final pick, Mr. Irrelevant. I had to. You see the last trailer. Not even just the first trailer for the new Space Jam movie. The song has been in my head. And I was kind of planning on if we ever do a best original song draft, I was going to take it as a Mr. Irrelevant. And just so happened I got to be the last pick. So I'm happy to have that one. I think it's the one of the most memorable theme songs from my childhood. And I'm glad we're going to be getting probably that and a couple remixes from it in the near future.
My original memories of that song is playing that on the Space Jam on the VHS, starting the song. Me and my cousin would be at my grandma's house and we would be spinning in circles and jumping around. And then we would get dizzy, fall over, rewind the tape, and then play it again.
Run, baby, run.
Oh my God. Come on and slam. And
Yeah.
welcome to the jam. Yeah, no, all time.
I love that song, and watching the NBA playoffs and ESPN recently, they cannot stop playing the commercial for the new Space Jam movie, and they're like quoting the lyrics of the song a little bit as well, and it just gets under my skin when the commercial
cringy.
goes like they have LeBron's son, and like I'm just like, oh, the plot of this movie, I hope it's good. LeBron,
Well,
please.
I wonder if they're doing any reshoots for this movie. LeBron has plenty of time since the Lakers got eliminated from the playoffs.
Changing numbers, he's too busy. But all right, before we list honorable mentions, let me just read off our list. Nez, Eye of the Tiger, Danger Zone, Let It Go, All the Stars, and Purple Rain. Ricky Flicks, Shallow, Lose Yourself, Everything is Awesome, Skyfall, Ghostbusters. Dr. O, You'll Be in My Heart, Sunflower, Staying Alive, A Whole New World, Don't You Dare Close Your Eyes, and Space Jam. Nez, honorable mentions from you?
Yeah, I only got a couple here, but I mean, we didn't do any Lion King, which I think is kind of a travesty. But Hakuna Matata, Circle of Life,
Mhm.
there's a bunch of good ones in there.
Great ones.
The Climb, Hannah Montana,
Yes.
huge one right there. Superfly from Superfly, I love that song. And then lastly, You're the Best Around,
Yes.
Karate Kid.
I was
That one,
toying between that and Ghostbusters.
that one
the
almost
last
got
one.
drafted. Oh, and also See You Again from Fast and Furious. Did I say that one?
That one
Oh.
in the movie hits. That
Yeah.
hits
That
hard.
one hits.
Hard.
I played that stuff. I played that when they towed away my car, my old car for the final time.
I,
Oh,
I,
that's
I never
sad.
thought.
Oh, yeah,
I never thought I'd cry during a Fast and Furious movie, but here we are. Just
I almost cried during In the Heights. I don't know if I was having a rough day or I was just like,
there were some emotional parts of that movie.
it's okay. I got it.
Dr. O.
A few. You Got a Friend in Me, Toy Story, Mrs. Robinson. I'm a big fan of The Graduate. It's one of my favorite movies. Don't You Forget About Me, Breakfast Club. Don't you? Flash.
Yep.
I had that one from
Queen.
Queen. Live and Let Die would be the other James Bond song I would have picked. And then both from Flashdance, either Maniac or the song Flashdance. And then lastly, Nez inspired me with his Eye of the Tiger pick. I would have gone Rocky 4, Hearts on Fire.
On my board.
Strong
Awesome.
Desire. Still work out to that song.
Oh my god.
And,
Was it John
whenever I'm feeling
Cafferty?
it.
John
yeah.
Cafferty.
Oh yeah. There's some parts of the song where it's like so 80s it hurts, where it's
Yeah.
like the synth is so in your face, and I'm just the rest of the song's awesome, but that part is like
Yeah.
I'm just
And
like,
there's
okay,
there's a
Jesus, relax.
montage like 15 minutes before of Rocky training to a different song that's very similar, but it's just even more 80s. And you're like, I'm just only waiting here for the John Cafferty Hearts on Fire song. Give it to us.
Yeah, earlier it's like there's no easy way out.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's like
yes.
when he's driving the car and he's like thinking about Apollo.
Yes.
So 80s.
All right. And then a few from me. Aladdin, Friend Like Me, Robin Williams, R.I.P.
I like Prince Ali better. Prince Ali.
Ali.
That one's.
I think of him like on the elephant.
Yeah, Prince Ali. Yeah. Accidentally in Love, Counting Crows for Shrek 2. I love that song.
Hold on, let's do a quick fact check on that one.
Do it, please. I'm
Shrek
pretty sure
franchise
that's,
loves remakes.
I'm pretty sure that's right. The Bare Necessities, Jungle Book, anything from La La Land, like City of Stars. Oh my god. Be Our Guest, Beauty and the Beast. Not great movie, but great song, Young and Beautiful, Lana Del Rey. That song really hits. Then
Oh my god, there's a Tiesto remix that will knock your socks off.
ooh, I'll have to check that out. And then finally, this is just like a personal honorable mention from We Are Your Friends, the Zac Efron DJ movie, Cole's
Ooh.
Memories.
Yeah.
When that drop hits, it's awesome. In the movie, it's
I
sick.
have that saved in my Spotify.
Have to.
You like that movie, Flicks?
Not, no, but the music's really good in it.
So like the last scene of the movie, this is a perfect example. I'm starting up this blog series where it's great scene, bad movie. And it's a class like that part of him like in front of like at the concert at the end at the festival, like doing all these like different beats he like made on his own, and then like just absolutely going off, the crowd's just going nuts.
Right.
And then the rest of the movie I'm just like very blah.
Yeah,
But like
the
that
pool,
part,
the pool scene was cool too. I will say, with Emily Ratajkowski dancing, and that
Everybody-
song's fire as well.
Very cool. Bonk.
Okay, well, just saying that scene was very cool as well. But all right, that's gonna do it for our top billing of best original songs. Doc.
All right. So that will conclude this episode of the Drive-In Podcast. Thank you for listening. And please leave us a review wherever you are listening and rate us 5 stars. Next week, we are reviewing Luca, which is on Disney Plus and in theaters this week. That'll do it for the 41st episode. We will smell ya.
Later.